Hi, everybody. This is Katie Harlan here, and I've had a lot of requests lately to talk about recruiting, and I love recruiting. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite parts about this business, so I'm happy to share. I came up with some tips and some strategies that I've been using, and I'm going to talk through those today. I'll be going into more detail on these things at the Chicago Summit in June, on June 30th, so I'd love to connect with you there if you can make it. Okay, so first of all, when you think about recruiting, think about being a farmer instead of a hunter. So what I mean by that is that when you are a farmer, there's a season to it. There's a growth process. There's a planting phase and a growing phase and then a harvesting phase. And it's not shooting to kill. It's not fast. And there's a different sort of nurturing feel to the word farmer versus hunter. And I think about this analogy a lot, actually. If you're talking to people all the time, you're planting the seeds all the time. And some of those seeds are going to grow right away. Some of those seeds are not going to grow for a year. It just depends on the person and the timing for them and their lives. But if you're always planting the seeds, you'll always have some plants coming up that you can harvest and bring into your business. So that's the first thing. When you think about being a farmer versus a hunter, you're also thinking long term, and that's really important in this business. 99% of the people you talk to are not going to sign up right away. I sure didn't, and I was, I'm all in. Most people need to think about it for some time, and that's, again, why you should always be planting the seeds and always be talking to people, because then people will come up at different times, always sort of filling your cup. But if you think that it's going to be a quick thing, you're going to be frustrated. When you think about it differently in terms of the farming phase and that it's going to take some time to harvest those seeds, I feel like it's less frustrating and it makes that interaction with people more enjoyable and less associated with an expectation tied to it. Okay. So I love that analogy. I hope that helps you. Now, for a strategy, I like to associate some sort of a time-sensitive deadline to the opportunity when appropriate. So I don't do this every single time I'm talking to someone and with everyone. I do it when I'm trying to reach a goal, number one. I do it when someone's, I can tell that they're really close. They're on the fence. They're not one of those people that says, I'll look at it, in a month when I'm done with school. It's for people that are like, I'm really interested in this. I just need to check on a few things and I'll get back to you. It's people that I can tell are really interested. I will associate a time-sensitive deadline to the conversation. And this can be super easy. So some examples, well, an obvious example would be when the kits go on super sale. So that's an easy one. Anybody who's been considering being a rep, if this kits go on sale, reach back out to them and, tell them this is a deal that doesn't come up very long. If you want to join at a low price, this is the time. That's an easy one. Another thing I've tied signing up to is just a simple training. So in our Tiny Team page, we do a training about once a month. So recently, I had a few people who were interested, and I just said, hey, if you sign up by Saturday, we're actually having a team training on Saturday about hosting parties, and that would be a great time for you to jump in and get going with your business right away. And that helped me sign 2 reps that week. And it's not like a big thing. Of course, they could have had the recording later. I wouldn't have held that from them or anything like that. But it's just, putting a little bit of a time-sensitive deadline there for them. I'll be using Summit as a big incentive for people to join. Those of you that are going to the Utah Summit or the Baltimore Summit, those are really good things. Even if you're not going, you can use those to promote if you know somebody in that area, in that general area, or in Chicago, you know, when that time comes. Hey, this is a great time to sign because in 2 weeks we have this training in Chicago or in Baltimore or whatever it is. So just find, you know, things that you can associate a little bit of a deadline to, and you know, it just puts a little bit of time pressure. Another one would be like the promotions. You know, in April, I don't know that this is true. In April, where we've got this big promotion going, and if you sign on now, at the beginning of the month, you've got the whole month to work towards it. That's an example. At the beginning of the year in January, I said to people, hey, I know you've been considering Zaya. This is a great time to get in because people are hitting the gym hard. They're working on their fitness goals now, and this is a great time to get in. Now I'm telling people, hey, did you know that March, April, and May are the biggest months for companies like us? This is a great time to start your business. So just look for those little time sensitive details that you can use when you're talking to people. Okay, discuss it often and share the benefits. So just like you're posting pictures of the clothing and, you know, the things you like about them, think of the Zaya rep opportunity as another product. I actually like to think of it as our best product because I think it is. It has the most potential for opportunity and growth. So think about, you know, you should be sharing it just as often as you're sharing the other things. If you only share about the business opportunity once a month, then you're really not reaching very many people with that. Remember that it takes people 7 exposures before they kind of jump in, and probably even more for something like, you know, joining a company. So you just want to be talking about it a lot and how it's impacted you. I like to share things like, I'll be sharing Summit and the opportunity to train there because that's something that motivates me. My business partner, Monica, she just made an awesome post recently about, you know, with my last check, I was able to pay our mortgage and our car payment and my daughter's college tuition payment. That was a great post because it put something quantifiable to the paycheck. When, you know, before, when I was with another company, I took my kids shoe shopping once, and I bought them each a couple pairs of shoes with my check. And then I took a picture of those shoes on my bed when I was unpacking them and said, this is what my check just paid for. And that was really effective too. So it doesn't, you know, your check doesn't have to be buying huge, crazy things for you to share the benefits in your life. You know, you can talk about the friendships. You can talk about having a cute workout wardrobe. I like to talk about how I used to be a slob, and now, you know, Zaya's helped me, I don't know, look better. You can talk about whatever you want that has helped you and improved your life, because you want to share about you. That's who you're trying to attract on your team. So the more that you share about you and how it's affected you, the more people like you you're going to attract. Okay, follow-ups are really important. So I have a little journal like this that I write the names down and the date of anyone who asks for information, comments on a post about Zaya, anybody that is interested. I write their name down and I, of course, talk to them. And then I use that list for follow-up. So I'll follow up, you know, it depends on the situation, but, you know, 2 to 3 days, maybe a week. And that list keeps me from letting people slip through the cracks because it's really easy to do that. But, you know, I think about me when when I've signed up for things in the past or even purchased from companies, I often don't follow through. When, you know, if somebody sends me their link, I forget about it. I'm busy, you know, things happen. But if they follow up and say, hey, I'm just checking on you to see if you were still interested, that's when I make the purchase. So I really appreciate the follow-up as a customer, as a client. And so I think it's really important to make sure that we're tracking who we are talking to so that we can follow up. And by the way, I do this with people who are interested in purchasing items as well. Although that one's a little trickier, but it's, you know, again, I think it's important. Okay, let's see. Da, 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 da. When you're speaking and when you're talking to people who you want to join your team, talk to other people like you. So, for example, I'm a health and fitness coach. So when I talk about it, I talk to other health and fitness coaches. I even say, health and fitness coaches and that's who I'm talking to because that's my niche. Or sometimes I'll talk to stay-at-home moms who want a side hustle. Who are you and why did you sign up? That's who you should target in your posts. It helps you niche down and attract people, the right people. If we try to get too big, I think our message becomes a little bit white noise-ish and it just blends in with the others. Show pictures of your face, your face, your smiling face, your environment. Those things will attract more people to your posts about the business opportunity than say, the starter kit, for example. I think there's a place for that, but I think it's also important that you show yourself in your Zaya, looking happy, running your business. Those posts will catch people's eye, and they won't blend in. They'll stand out a little bit because there's only one of you and one face of yours. So show it often. Okay. I think that's it, you guys. I hope that's helpful. Remember, when you're recruiting, you're a farmer, you're always planting the seeds. If you are talking about it often, if you're sharing it all the time, you're planting those seeds all the time. You can tie a deadline to it to help people commit a little bit faster. Share how it's benefited you. Just share it as much as you share the products. Think of it like a product, and you will be recruiting a lot as well. So let me know if you have any other questions, and I hope to see you guys at the Chicago Summit. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.